Yo, what is going on, people of the KH No Filter community? What is going on, everyone? Hopefully everyone is happy, having a good time. Guys, I am so happy to be here with one of the OGs, the homies. Last time he was here, he wasn't even at 10K, and now his channel is booming, and I love it. The king of the Pertuhis, Alexis. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, bro. How are you? How's life?
Man, it's been good, man. Just grinding. You've been doing good for yourself, man. I'm happy for you. Always good to have you here. It's been a minute since you've been here, so it's nice that we're gonna be able to catch up.
Crisp as hell, by the way. That mic, like
dude. It's not even the mic. It's how you use it. You know, it's all about how you use it. So, you know the tricks. You use them, but. Guys, if you haven't already, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and just post the link here. This is his channel, the Kavkas View. Make sure you check it out. Link is in the description. If you don't want to click on the description, it's in the chat. It's easy. Just one click away. Subscribe. Give him a like. Show him some love because he makes really good content daily. This man's posting almost daily. So give him some love.
Man. 5 times.
Yeah, man. I love it.
I think
but
it's important. It's 10-minute videos. You guys want the long stuff? Come here.
Yeah.
And
he'll give you the truth. He's not gonna just pander. So that's what I love about Alexis. Sometimes a little harsh on Ziyech, but we move.
I might even be nice to Ziyech today.
Yeah, for sure. I look forward to it. But before we go ahead and start, guys, make sure you smash the like button. If you're brand new to the channel, subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you're watching this in the future. Let us know what you thought about the stream or some of the things that we're going to be discussing today. And check out the links in the description. You have Alexis's link right there. My link for my YouTube channel. I'm releasing some video game content. We have the Discord. You can join our Discord. Have some fun with us. We watch the games together over there on the Discord. And Kai is on Twitter, so that's KH No Filter Football. You can check out that on Twitter as well. But oh man, what a week! Where to start? Alexis, I was on a high. I was on a high this whole week because we just won Club World Cup, and then this game was kind of like a rude awakening. Like I knew the problems were there, like we kind of knew that there was an issue with the attack and, with Lukaku, obviously, which we're going to get into. But man, was this a wake up call? This was a wake up call. It was like a quick, sobering reminder of crap. Yeah, we still don't have that good of a fluid attack, with Lukaku. What are your thoughts on the game, man? Last minute winner, Ziyech bailing out Tuchel.
Bro, it's really difficult to get excited about last minute winners when you don't deserve the victory. One thing is people always go, you know what, you try to keep your emotions in check, but sometimes it boils over, and it does. But you have to celebrate the last minute victories. At the end of the day, we are fans. I was jumping up and down like a little child in my living room.
Dude, I was so relieved. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that's the perfect wording, relief. And because I didn't see the goal coming. And I think that's the most damning part of this whole scenario. I always say we are so selective with the chances we critique because they're so few and far between. From the top of my head, we had 3 chances yesterday. We had the Pulisic one, which was a half chance. On his left foot on the volley. A lot of people said he should have scored. I think that's very harsh. I think he's running full pace. Keeping it down on his weaker foot's hard. Kante.
It was a hard one.
Kante should be doing better there. But you don't expect N'Golo Kante being your goal for it. And then Ziyech got a lucky, Ziyech done very well, don't get me wrong, but the keeper should be saving that from that angle. You shouldn't be going through your legs. So we only have ourselves to blame, Marshall. We only have ourselves to blame.
Well, okay. So speaking of putting the blame, and you know what, again, every stream is becoming this, and I don't mean to do this, but it's you have nice white linen and you get some wine in it, and the stain is going to be there. You're going to notice it, and you have to address the elephant in the room. And look, for me, you've been saying it since the beginning of the season. You never really favored Lukaku. You didn't think he was the right guy, really. And you know what? I was on the opposite boat. I was all for it. I felt like he wanted to play for the badge. I felt like he was the right guy for the job. And maybe I had the rose tinted glasses on. Maybe I didn't realize that maybe he doesn't fit in this not really a counter-attacking system like he does at Inter. But man, when you see him play, ever since that interview, since after Brighton and Aston Villa, he doesn't move. And it's not
Did you know he had 54 touches in the last 6 Premier League games?
No, and that's pretty poor. I'm not gonna lie. He's just not involved in the game. It's so frustrating because, like, we'll have people defending like, oh, but he scored. He got the 2 winning goals. First of all, the 2 last goals, I only count 1 because the second one was more of a goal from Al Hilal, an own goal for missing it in the lights and stuff, and Lukaku just happened to be there. You put Timo in that situation and you hope he scores too, but like, but like. It's those goals, like he scored 1 good like striker's goal, and I get this argument of like, okay, you want him to build confidence off of those goals, you keep playing him then. But before those goals, I've been wanting him bench because he's just not fitting. It's just like the piece of a jigsaw from another jigsaw on the final piece of your jigsaw puzzle. It just doesn't make any sense, and you can tell it's clear, it's blatant. And I think like Tuchel's trying to really force this. So at what point do I blame Lukaku, and then at what point do I go Tuchel? What's going on here? Why are we doing this? It's not working.
It's most definitely not working, and the issue is the playing style. It's the approach play, and I think, you know what? I think I'm gonna come and actually be kind to Lukaku. Let's not get it wrong. He's not a shit player. There's a lot of people saying Lukaku's terrible. He's a donkey, la caca, all that nonsense. I don't like that. I always reiterate this in my videos. This is not a personal attack on the man. I don't know the man. He's most probably a lovely person. Me and him most probably will sit down, have a good beer, and have a great time talking about football and football history. Most probably would. But I am here to criticize or critique his footballing style. He does not suit Chelsea FC. We want to have someone fluid. We want to have someone that is very comfortable in possession, neat and tidy, flick offs, 1-2s in behind from the wide runners. The issue is he wants to get in behind. And
every time.
And the frustrating thing, and this what infuriates me, is I feel like he feels he's a better ball player than he really is. So he's convinced himself, I want the ball on the ground and I want it drilled into me and I'll knock it on and I'll chase it. But there's no space for you to chase it. And your control's not tight enough to grips it in and retain the ball. So then we get into a conundrum where the players aren't passing to him because they know he's not going to retain it. He continues to make the stupid runs where he's not receiving it, so he becomes frustrated, reverting to people saying attitude problem, which I don't think it's an attitude. I think it's a laziness after a certain period of time and lack of fundamental tactics.
I think part of it is also, and I talked about this last stream, funny enough, is I think there's a lot of arrogance in there. Like you said, I think he thinks he's a better player than what he actually is. And for me, it's like, at what point do you as a player not realize that you're doing this run over and over and they're not giving you the ball? At what point do you decide, all right, if I can't get the ball, let me get the ball? I think in his head, he's probably thinking like, no, I'm going to get the ball in behind. This is the best move for me to do. And I'm going to keep doing it. And they're going to eventually pick up on it. But like you're at that point, it's kind of like you're going against the manager's tactics just because you think your tactics are better. Yeah. Like, it's like, I don't understand. And even like another thing I would love to talk to you about is the lack of press from him. His pressing is poor. And one thing that Chelsea did last season that they're not doing this season? The gegenpress. That gegenpress is like barely there anymore.
Yeah.
Especially in the front three. Remember in like the beginning of the season, how often Tuchel would bring out that stats. Oh, we had this many ball recoveries in the final third. That was like something he looked for. That was like what was in the system. And now this man, I haven't heard him talk about it in a hot minute because we're not doing it anymore with Lukaku in there.
And you know what the issue is? People aren't going to like it. Romelu Lukaku. It's the vocal point. I always say, Marshall, right? In life, there's some fundamentals you need to have. Effort, efficiency, and ability to follow instructions. He doesn't want to follow instructions because I know he can't press like Werner can, but he's not pressing at all. He's
exactly.
Marshall, I don't know if you played football at any level. Like
I
I
have
played the worst
little.
level. I played amateur level Sunday league
Yeah.
football, right? This is the worst level you can play on. This is literally you go and play for fun because you enjoy the game. But even I pressed. Trust me, I'm not like the most athletic person in the world, but there's something called professional integrity and pressing for this because it's an ethic that you have to do. And there is pressing and there's pressing, and he's pressing at the moment. It's
He's a lot of
jogging.
pressing for the sake of like, hey, look, I'm trying, but he's not really trying.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, I feel the longer this goes on, the more Tuchel's job becomes more and more in jeopardy. These trophies, in my opinion, aren't masking over the real issue, and the real issue here is he's £100 million striker that's going to be hard to get off the books, and Tuchel's a £12 million manager at most, and I think I'm being kind there. A year. Which one's easier to get off the P&L? Sad but true.
I mean, look, I may be being kind of lackadaisical in this thought, but I feel that I disagree. I think the trophies are helping him. I think with at least the trophies, he's going to get a summer. You know, if he wins the Carabao Cup, proves a point against Liverpool, I think he's guaranteed a summer. Where in the summer, and I hope, and I really hope, this board does back Tuchel because right now you said it.
What is back to? Because I need to ask you that question. I had this debate today with a friend. I need to know what your perception is of back Tuchel.
So, with me, when it comes to what I think is backing Tuchel, first of all, we need to get him a wing back. Not even a wing back, maybe 2 wing backs. You can do a cheaper one for like a future, like, you know, this guy is a prospect kind of thing, because I'm not opposed to youth. I trying to get back Livramento, I don't know how possible that's going to be. I feel like we have to pay so much money to get him back now. So
next year though, So that's what I'm hearing from everyone that I talk to in the community and the people that have sources. I don't have sources, so I can't just hear and chat shit. They're saying Livramento is on the club's books, and they're seriously considering using the buyback clause next summer. Not this summer coming,
which is
the one after.
Which is a shame because you know what, like Alexis, and I know you're not like, I don't know if your views have changed, but you're not the biggest Chilwell fan. But you must certainly agree that in this formation, we need someone better than Chilwell. So where I'm kind of worried is like, okay, we need wing backs, plural. So Livramento, maybe Lamptey. There's good wingbacks out there, but there's also the world-class one. We have the Theo Hernandez's, the Rafael Guerreros. We certainly want one of them as well. And then we still need the DM. So it's going to be what? Tchouaméni, Conor Gallagher comes back.
Why do you need a DM? Like, we're going to argue. You see, like, maybe a box-to-box. I don't think we need a natural DM. And I think people don't understand. That sounds very, like, you know what frustrates me? Give me your example, your DM, and then explain to me, like, I don't even want a name. I want a profile. Like, what do you want him to do?
Well, I think what we lack in this team is not so much lack. It's just that if we want to play in a certain way, I feel like we need someone stronger to do the following. And I don't think Jorginho is the strongest to do this.
Okay.
Be essentially a center back that plays in the midfield, that wins tackles in the defense, defends the center backs, but also can provide some decent passing along the way. You don't have to be attacking. You just stay back there and defend. And if we have a solid defense, a solid CDM, the attack will do the rest. You know, and you need to have a good attack, which I believe we have a good attack that can do the rest. It's just a matter of whether it be some experience, and again, you got to think Havertz, Mason, Pulisic, Callum, they're all kids still, essentially. They're still kids, you know? So, as frustrated as I am with their bad finishing sometimes, I gotta remember, like, they're still younger. I'm more frustrated with Werner, Ziyech before this awesome shape of form, because they're the older ones. They should be able to do this. And Lukaku. Let's get it right. Lukaku too. So, like, he's had his chances and he's missed his chances as well. But I think for me, backing Tuchel would be get him that sporting director, because let's get a sporting director that has a good direction to where to take the club. Let's get someone who will put some fire under these scouts' asses, because I feel like some of the scouting that we've had, not good enough either. I feel like we shouldn't have had a flop in like a Timo. We shouldn't have had Ross Barkley in this team. Why, Ruben Loftus-Cheek now, unfortunately, the other Achilles is bothering it. And now I'm thinking he's not a good fit to this team. Who brought in Saul? Like all these things, like the talent is there, but we're selling the talent and we're buying this other talent that is just not fitting the mold here. It's not performing,
I think you
so
worded it perfectly. We buy in talent that isn't fitting the mold, because I don't think they're bad players. I really don't. For
yeah,
example, I think Ross is a good player, but not for Chelsea. I think
not at
Ruben
all.
Loftus-Cheek in another world is fantastic at Chelsea, but sadly his Achilles blew up on it. So
Yeah,
he is
now
a
the other
fifth choice.
Achilles was bothering him. So it's like, oh boy, if you're like one of the members of the board, if you're Marina, you're thinking like, oh boy, like, do we keep this player and risk his other Achilles probably being hurt after he just went away for this long,
But Marshall, what's the risk with him? Because he's fifth choice. He's fifth, fourth choice. He won't play. If
Yeah.
Kante, Jorginho, and Kova stay fit, he's irrelevant.
That's
I
true.
think,
That's
and I
true.
think people forget that because they're always like the same names always come up. And I always say, why are you worrying about player number 24, player number
Mhm.
25 in the squad, when really we should be worrying about player number 12 and player number 13, because our first 11 is quite good.
If you want to be specific, we could start worrying about player number 6 and player number 7, meaning
Yeah,
Jorginho and N'Golo Kante, because that's another thing too. Back Tuchel, get him some midfielders, because look, I love Kante. I love Jorginho. I love them both equally. They're great, but Kante, we've seen starting to get more injuries, and the performances haven't been Kante level. We saw the final with Palmeiras, not Kante level, not Champions League Kante. And then Jorginho lately has been, yesterday, Crystal Palace. We bring
I
you
thought it
in
was
to
good.
control the game. I thought he was good too, but did he control? I think Olise got the best of him a few times. I think Jorginho too, like, as much as I want to keep him, he is hitting 30. The consistency hasn't been as consistent as before, but then again, he's playing a lot of games.
Yeah,
But we also have to think, like, do we sign him another contract and do we sell him for a high price, make some money off of Conte as well? Like, you got to start thinking about these things because you're getting to that age.
Marshall, but the problem is, right? Kante should be used sporadically now. So Kante needs to be a player that plays one game a week. You
Mm-hmm.
bring in hypothetically a Basuma, a Schumann, because that's my target,
Suma
a
as
box to
well. Yeah,
box.
that's another good target.
So
Yeah.
I want someone. Everyone's gonna say Declan Rice, right?
Please
That's the
stop.
name on everyone's lips. I don't see it. And I don't see it for the specific reason I need a ball player. I need someone comfortable in possession. I need someone who drives the ball with urgency and has the ability to pick a pass out in tight areas. Whilst I believe Rice can dribble it well, I don't think he's got the ability to pick the pass out. Yet,
Hmm.
Basuma does. Basuma's so neat and tidy on the ball. A great athlete, great in a tackle, engine, smart, intelligent player in the right pockets. What he does for Brighton can be replicated for Chelsea, because actually Brighton play good football. They
Yeah, they do.
take teams back. Like Brighton play very similar football to Chelsea, if not better, in the way
Mm.
they retain the ball, in the way they're so fluid. It's a system. It's what we were last year before Kaku
Yeah.
came in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like if you get a fourth choice midfielder, well, not even fourth. I think fourth is negative. You go and get another midfielder who plays the games instead of Jorginho. So Jorginho gets rotated. One plays the Premier League, the other one plays the Champions League, then he gets rotated, so on and so on. That's what good teams do. You have four starters in two positions, or three starters like for two positions. Bring back Gallagher, potentially bring back Billy. He'll be happy to sit on the bench, or if he wants to leave, fair enough. But I think we need to be careful with this notion we have to back Tuchel, because Tuchel signed off on Lukaku. So a lot of people are forgetting that, bro, you
True.
put your name to this.
That's true.
You could have typed in the Kavkas View and known everything wrong with this move before it happened. You chose not to do it. Like, but no, bro. Like,
Yeah.
look, I'm worried, man. Like, I really am. So, what
Yeah.
do you want in a fullback?
Me personally, give me attack. Give me good attack, but also be solid defensively. Everything I could ask for in a fullback. Like Chilwell, in my opinion, he was good. I like him. I think he's adapted really well to that left wing back position, at least when we were playing with with him. And I saw the system that Tuchel wanted to implement. It was sick. You know, I've never seen like a three in the back that was supposedly as defensive, you know, defensive formation be used as an attacking. So to see that, it was very, very neat. And Chilwell was very good, but he needs competition. You can't just put Marcos Alonso there. I'm sorry, Marcos Alonso needs to go. I'm sorry. This man's saying out here he wants to live out the rest of his Chelsea career like Aspie. Listen, bro, there's a difference between you and Aspie, all right? don't. You guys might be Spanish, but you guys don't play anything alike.
You might be Hispanic, but you're a different type of Hispanic.
Like, yeah, trust me on that one.
Adios,
So,
papi.
I would love to have like, we never really replaced Ashley Cole, but it'd be great to have a Theo Hernandez on in a left wing back position. I think he's great attacking.
He's not attainable. You see, this is my
Yeah.
problem. Like, Theo Hernandez is another £70 million player.
Yeah.
And I don't think we move like that. And I don't want us to move like that. There's a certain. How can Liverpool go find Simicast for 4 million? How can Cucurella come for 12 million to Brighton?
Oh, that's another one too. Cucurella would be a great addition.
Cucurella's 50 million now. Like, there is another Cucurella somewhere in Spain or somewhere in Portugal or somewhere in France. For crying out loud. PSG went and got Nuno Mendes. They got him on a loan with an option of 25 million to buy. Beautiful business. Chelsea don't do signings like that, and it frustrates me. Like, we go for the jackpot names, and it's worrying. It really is.
So the thing is with me, I think what pushes me to go for the jackpot names, like you said, is I would like to compete for the Prem. Do I think a player like Livramento, Broja, which, you know, I was touting Broja before we were going on stream. Do I think a Gallagher? Do I think these players are ready for like a Prem push along with like winning everything you could possibly win along the way? I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know, because Kai brings up a good point every time he says this. And I agree with it to a certain extent, is that these other players, the Brojas, the Gallaghers, the Livermentos, you know, the Lampteys, all these players, the Billies on these other teams, they play for these teams, but these teams, you know, Man City doesn't play a Norwich like they would play a Chelsea. So it's viable. So we don't know what they're going to be like at Chelsea. You know, like, I love Billy Gilmore. He's having a wishy-washy season at Norwich, but you bring him into the team, is he going to fit right in? Has he developed that physicality he needs to really push his game to the next edge? Like, you know, there's all these questions.
This is where Kai
and is Billy going to want to as well too? You know,
not Billy. Kai and I always argue about this because Kai believes you need to sign older players, and whilst I understand his notion, I think it's a risky point because there are good assets that we have in this club that need the opportunity to flourish. Like, for example,
I agree.
Broja should have never gone out on loan this year. And the reason I said this was because Timo shouldn't be in this team. If you had Rom and Broja And then you had Callum, Pulisic, Ziyech, and Havertz. All of a sudden, you're kind of sorted because you got the youngster who'll be grateful for any minutes he gets, but
Mhm.
then you got the experienced guy. So when Rome kicked up a little fuss, Broja gets his opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a nice way. But now we're creating problems because you sent him out on loan. He's got 6, 7 goals. He's going to end up getting 11, 12, come back with an inflated ego because he thinks he's ready to start for Chelsea. When in
Yeah,
my opinion,
yeah. He's
he's
gotten the
not.
taste of it.
Yeah. And I don't
Yeah.
blame him. I really don't blame
Yeah, I
him.
don't either. The same thing with Livermento. Same thing with Lamptey. You know, all these players, like,
They want
and
to
I
play,
hope
man.
exactly all these players want to play. They leave because they want to play. And we're hearing, you know, I've heard some rumors that apparently Gallagher, when he comes back, there's plans for him to be in the first team, which I hope there is because I like the way he's been playing. I think he
So
could
do
be a
I.
good fit.
Proved me wrong. He
Yeah,
proved me wrong.
proved me wrong too. I wasn't expecting much from Gallagher, and here he is, like achieving his destiny here. But with this is tricky too because, like, okay, let's say we get Broja. I think right now an issue that Tuchel has is he can't bench Romelu. He can't because as much as okay, you can
He
bench
can or
Romelu
he
to prove a
won't.
point. But the thing is, Alexis, like you got to think like, what's that going to do to the locker room if this world-class striker gets benched? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's just
I
going to
don't
take
think
it
the locker room
willy-nilly?
backs him because you see the problem here, and this is where I was talking about this the other day. Tuchel's in a lose-lose situation because Tuchel continues to play him, results will turn, and I'm telling you, we won't be getting away with it. We will start to drop points. Tuchel drops him, and God forbid we don't win that game. The headline is Romelu Lukaku isn't playing. The board will jump all over that. You have £100 million asset that's not playing. We need to recoup our money. And a lot of people say no, Tuchel has enough control where the board won't interfere. I'm going to take you back to Kepa. Do you
Hmm.
remember that first Premier League game when Tuchel took over against Wolves? Then there was a cup game, Kepa was in goal, and then straight after, Kepa started the Premier League game. And the TL was in meltdown. And the reason they were in meltdown is because they were like, why is Kepa playing? It was the board that forced them to play and rebuild
Yeah,
the package of Kepa. We're gonna get 30 million for Kepa now. We
I
never would
hope.
have got that. Like,
Mhm.
so I think Tuchel needs to get wins if that happens, and I don't think he's gonna take that risk. I really don't.
You know, it's crazy you mentioned that too because it's so important for Chelsea and Tuchel himself and for his longevity in this club to get wins because from next week or the week after on, the Premier League gets easy for him. He's
Why?
already played Man City, already played Liverpool. He's going to be playing Arsenal. We already played Man United, I believe. I think so. But the fixture swing for Chelsea they're all winnable games. They're all winnable games, no doubt. With the ability that we have, they're all absolutely winnable games. Look how we played yesterday. It's like it's supposed to be a winnable game. It's Crystal Palace. Like no disrespect to Crystal Palace, but like we shouldn't be waiting until 90 seconds before the game ends to score. And a lucky score like a page out of Kylian Mbappe's book, Ziyech took, man. Literally. But like we shouldn't be doing that, you know. Just like Kylian Mbappe and PSG shouldn't be waiting until the very last minute to score on a defensive Real Madrid. But like, oh my God, it's so important. And if he loses because it's Romelu Lukaku, then it's on Romelu Lukaku. And if he loses without Romelu Lukaku, then it's because he didn't have Romelu Lukaku. It's like
Yeah,
he
it's a
is
catch
in
22.
between. It really is. It really is. He's in a really tough spot, and I feel so bad for him. But for me, like. And you may disagree with this. I much rather just have Werner than Lukaku at this point.
I
Because at
would
least
too.
with Werner, okay,
You're
you
missing
agree. So
chances.
look,
At least you're missing chances, but they're there.
exactly. The chances are there, but at least you're just missing the chances. Like, look, and even this year, like I haven't been that harsh on him. I think when he has been playing, he's been better than last season. He's improved. I think he's improved as a player than last season. Yes, he's still gonna miss the stupid open goal chances. It is what it is, but look, give him some game time. You saw how bro, he came on against Palmeiras and he was like, he felt Brazilian himself that day. Like, what the hell? Like, this man was actually playing like a proper winger. And I'm like, whoa, did Lampard not use him as a winger properly? What's going on here? But like, he comes on the pitch and he already injects energy into the front three. We start moving more fluidly. There's more chances. There's more space. Like,
do you know what it is with him? He is exactly what I described when I said fundamentals. The man does the urgency. He adds urgency. He has willingness to chase. And did you see the statement he made about Chelsea fans? When he said,
"Oh, why do they like me? I suck."
Yeah. I don't. Why do they like me? A striker's meant to score goals. Like,
yeah.
And for me, that tells me a lot about his character.
I like it, yeah.
And I like it. It gives him likability. Do I like him as a player? I really don't. He irritates me. He's the opposite of what I like stylistically. But attitude-wise, he's God's given gift because he will chase, he will hassle, he will hurry, he will try over and over again. And defenders are scared of him. Like, they know what he's capable of. They know he hasn't replicated it. And Chelsea need to hone into that. I actually think if we put him back into the team, give him a bit more game time like we did last year. We have a decent player in there. I really do. Like, I don't think he's the solution long term, but I think he's the better solution at this moment in time.
I agree. I agree 100%. Like, look, I know he doesn't provide the goals. We all know this. Like, no one here is saying that, no, he's going to be our top goal scorer.
Who provides the goals in this moment in time? No one.
Yeah.
So if there's no one, then what are we doing here?
Like, I'm not the biggest defender of Werner, and I don't even like to pull out the stats, but you don't get 15 assists. You don't become our top assister by doing nothing, you know? Like, I know he's not here to bring assists. He's not Cesc Fabregas, but he's doing something. There's something there. Like, it's better than what Lukaku's doing right now. You know, I think Lukaku only has 2 assists today to this point.
Dude, Lukaku's a waste of space at this moment in time.
It's just he doesn't do enough. I mean, you want him to get the goals and you target him and stuff, but he's barely scoring goals. And if he's not going to score goals, at least come by, get the ball, press, make some assists, build up a play. You know, like he looked decent against Palmeiras. I'm not going to sit here and say that he was absolutely piss poor against Palmeiras. I think against Palmeiras.
I thought he was better against El Halal. I think he was poor.
Wow, really? Yeah, I think the complete opposite.
Hey, what's Chichi, I'm yawning because I've been up for 17 hours, bro. Like,
this man's committed, bro.
I've been up for 17 hours. It's 10 o'clock in the UK. I was up since 4 a.m. in the morning doing stuff.
Chichi, just look at this man's YouTube channel, subscribe, and then realize why. That's why he's tired. Look at that YouTube channel, bro. That's why he's tired. Also, because of Lukaku. That's why.
Sorry, man. I didn't even mean that. It's rude if I come across this way.
Nah, you're fine, man. I wasn't even paying attention to this. I was more involved in the conversation. But you know what we were saying. Like, for me, in that final on Palmeiras, I feel like he was, passing the ball off to Pulisic, connecting a lot better. That might be as a result of Kai, more so than just Lukaku himself. But like, there was like some type of chemistry going on. There was some type of connectivity, some passing, some fluidity during that game. It's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, though, because now we see him at Crystal Palace and the man has 7 touches. He left all his touches in fucking Abu Dhabi, bro.
Hey, Marshall, I did the calculation. So he gets 290K a week. Per touch cost us £42,000. £42,000 per touch. Like, and you actually deep that. I told you, it's harder to do, man. It's harder to do than not to do. Like, I can't believe what we witnessed yesterday. There's a reason that record hasn't been broken since 2004. The thing is,
the record. I just realized.
Let's believe him because he's literally given me sleepless nights. Like, let's move on to some positivity.
Okay, well then, in that case too, let's move on to Ziyech. Look, This is the Ziyech I've been wanting to see. I think we've all wanted to see for a while now. I've been a defender of Ziyech for a while. You know this. I think everyone on this channel knows this. This is what I'm known for,
Mr.
defender of Ziyech.
Ziyech hype.
But I don't believe in this hype or anything. He's not even my favorite player. Kai Havertz is, but like I just felt like the criticism was a bit unfair, and the criticism was a bit, just it was a little too much. I think a little unfair, and I've seen what this guy tries to do. I see what he's trying to the plays he's trying to make and all this stuff, and now we're finally seeing it. Now they're finally coming off the formation change. He has more space. We saw Tuchel say the reason he didn't start against Palmeiras is because we played a 3 in the back system and not the 4. And you know what? Even on the 3 in the back system that we played, I think against Al Hilal, he didn't look that bad. So I think he's just finally finding his form. He's motivated. He bailed us out yesterday.
Yeah.
Do you think he starts to maybe influence everyone else? Because like Havertz has been playing a little better. Pulisic has been playing a little better. Even Aspie, thanks to him, has been playing a little better.
Man,
but it's just Lukaku,
For me, it's Ziyech is annoying, and we all knew he's just annoying because I know how good he is. I've said many occasions he's an Arsenal player, and the reason I've said that was because he'll give you a great game and then he disappears for 4 or 5. And I always said you can't be 28 and not give me consistency. I need that element of consistency. And for the last 4 weeks, we have been getting it remotely. Every single week, we have been getting a benchmark of performance of a 6 or 7 pushing on to 8s. The Spurs game, the Palace game, the one he's creating, and I like that. I like players that try things. I just don't like it when you're failing miserably and you're repeatedly doing the same thing. But he looks like he's got his vim back. He looks like yesterday. Was it me or he looked actually fairly quick in some aspects? Like
he did, yeah.
He was attempting to dribble people. He was attempting to do a trick and get past someone and cross it first time. There was a few occasions where beautiful switching of plays. You know what? I should just give him an applause and say long may it continue. There's not much I can say about him. He's been very good. I've really enjoyed him, watching him play.
I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that by now I would expect a little bit of a dip, but he's just been keeping it consistent, which is good for him. He needs to because going forward, we need to, especially with this attack, we need to. The summer is gonna. I hope that the summer is gonna be crazy because there's a lot of people that, in my opinion, as of right now, have to leave this club, and then they are in the attack. So right now, I need him to make a statement. I need someone, anyone, to just in this attack to just take the initiative and make a statement saying "Don't worry, I'm gonna lead this. I'm gonna take this forward." I thought it was gonna be Lukaku, but it's not, and someone is stepping up, and his name is Ziyech. Just get it right.
And you know what's really irritating? I think fans are losing patience with Kai Havertz, and I don't understand why. Because Kai is, people are gonna laugh at me, right? Kai, Pulisic, Mount, and Cho are the 4 players where we can accept dips in form due to their age. They're all in that 22, 23 mark where they'll have to develop their consistency slowly till they reach a certain player.
Yeah.
Kai reaches big finals. I call him Didier Kai because Didier Havertz, he turns up in the big moments. He's clutch. And I love players that have that gene because Didier wasn't the most convincing player in leagues. And that's why you never put him in those debates as the greatest strikers of all time. But on a cup final day, I want Didier Drogba leading my line.
When it meant the most, that's when Didier would come through.
And with Kai as well, you see that there's a player in there. You have to have patience. Werner, Lukaku, Ziyech, you need to step up now. You don't have tomorrow. This is your platform. And
Pulisic
they're
too.
no.
Like let's get it on it. Like Pulisic and Cho as well. Like everyone
Why
really.
Cho?
Because
Cho's 21 years old. Cho is
here's the thing.
21 years old.
I know you love Cho, Alexis, but lately that Palmeiras game was terrible. But then again, he played left wing back. All right, whatever.
He got the assist. He got the productivity that no. You see, this is it. People expect
Lukaku got the
too much.
goal, and you say he was poor too.
Lukaku's 28 years old, costing 100 million pounds. I expect consistency out of Lukaku. I don't expect
Yeah.
consistency out of Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi should be a bench player for Chelsea. Callum shouldn't have the
Okay.
best per 90 statistics at Chelsea. Like you know what I think the problem at Chelsea is right now? We've got the wrong players performing well, so we set unrealistic expectations on those players to continue performing well. Like Mason Mount, how has he got 13 goals and 7 assists this year? And yet people are still unhappy with him. He shouldn't be having 13 goals and 7 assists at the age of 23 at Chelsea because he's not world
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Callum
I agree.
Hudson-Odoi. Callum's got 6 assists, 3 goals, playing wing back most of the season. Yet people are still unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
Yet Ziyech has got 4 goals and 4 assists, and people are over the moon now. Like, make it make sense.
Like with me, I think my personal gripe with Callum Hudson-Odoi is that the kid's been here for 3-4 years now. He gets chance after chance. He must know by now that finishing has to improve. And it's in there. It's 100% in there. The goal he scored against Richmond, we understand that this kid has the Richmond. Is it Richmond? I don't remember. The FA Cup. No. I mean the FA Cup.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
It's like he scores that fantastic wonder goal, world-class goal. But when it comes to the Prem, all of a sudden the pressure's too much. I can't even give it a try. I can't even give it a shot. And then when I am in front of the post, like the Brighton, that moment in Brighton sticks out to me like a sore thumb, where he was 1-on-1 with Mason and he couldn't decide whether to take a shot or pass it, and he waited so long that he just decided to pass instead of take a shot. And then you could argue that is a pivotal moment in that game.
That was
like you are starting consistent. You're starting consistently, Callum. Prove that this is what you want. Stop going backwards. Go forward. Be more aggressive. We know that you have the skill in you, but it's frustrating because it's like, bro, you know you can put this guy in a spliff. Try it. Try it more often. Remember what game was it? We just played this game. He was playing against, oh my goodness, I can't remember. I think it was it the Club World Cup or was it the Carabao Cup? I think it was the Carabao Cup. Ah, man, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But the point is that he, first half, timid, nervous, didn't want to try to beat the defender. Second half, Tuchel lights a fire on him, and all of a sudden he's moving mad in the left wing. He's beating the defender constantly. He has it in him, but there's potential that he doesn't tap into. And it's so frustrating. That's why I put him in the same situation. Same thing with Pulisic. Bro, you understand, you've been doing good. First of all, give kudos to Pulisic here. He's been doing good of not getting injured again since the last injury. The standard has dropped, Alexis. This is how low it's gotten, bro. Kudos to Pulisic for not getting injured.
We're never leaving the hood. We are never. But the fact that you're measuring players of not getting injured now, we are never leaving the hood. Like
he had to improve on that, which he's done. You know, Callum needs to improve on his finishing. Pulisic needed to improve on not getting hurt, which he's been doing. Good. Now keep going, bro. You've been having some good games at Cam of all positions too. Not even left wing. Which, okay, kudos for you. Step it up. Keep doing it. Don't slack off. Don't get complacent. I feel like maybe sometimes Callum gets a little complacent when he starts getting a good run of form. Maybe I'm afraid Ziyech is going to start getting complacent, bro. You know,
bro. You know what I think it is with Callum, right? I think Callum has never played consistently for a period of time. And I think
this season he has, though.
No, he hasn't. And this is where I disagree with you.
You don't think in
The only
December he played a lot of games?
Callum played November till December when everyone was injured, and he was arguably Chelsea's best player. The numbers are there to show it.
No, he
Goes
was
per
good. He
90.
was good.
And then when everyone came back, Callum played one bad game and was left out for 3-4 weeks. And that's what you expect from a youngster. And I think people forget that he's a youngster. Vinicius Jr., for crying out loud, was horrible last year. Lack
Oh
of
yeah.
confidence,
Oh yeah.
lack of ingenuity, lack of productivity. That comes and stems from low confidence. You need to live with Callum a little bit. He's the one I have no issues about. He's the one that I will let develop. And even
Uh-huh.
Kai, Mason, let them develop. We're not going to win the league. What else do we have to lose this year? Let them develop. They're not
Yeah.
the problem in this team. Like they
Yeah,
won't be.
No, go ahead. Sorry, Alexis.
I think we'll accumulate the points. We'll get the 20 extra points to. We got 39 points left to play for. We need 20. Those 20 will guarantee us top 4, and then what we're playing for. Like, what are we playing for in the league? Like, third? You want a bronze medal? Okay, take your bronze medal. Take it and wear it with pride.
No,
No,
I agree, and definitely with Mason. I guess let's talk about Mason too, because like I feel like he's always such a hot topic. I mean, if it wasn't for Lukaku, we'd be talking about Mason Mount right now. But with Mason, he got injured, but I don't. What kind of frustrates me is that recently he actually hasn't been that bad. I think he's actually benefited from Ziyech stepping up in form, and I saw some really promising and good runs when,
interlink.
yeah, the interlink, the interchanging was really there, and that's like, where has this Mason Mount been all season? Because in
And
my opinion, are you gonna
I'll
say
tell
it?
you
Because I
where.
want to say it.
Yeah, bro, it's Lukaku. He's affecting the team. When we had Kai and we had Ziyech on the right and Mason on the left, in that Champions League run, the interchanges were there. Him, James, Kovacic, the link up, people are on the same wavelength.
Mm.
Mason Mount is a very good player. Kai doesn't like him because of how protected he is. But yet, I think he's a good player and people will criticize him. Like, it's really annoying.
I don't agree with this comment. I just read this right
What do
now.
you
Kai
say?
Havertz has not shown any improvement. He hasn't built himself physically to impose himself on the ball. He gets pushed off the ball with elbows and looks lethargic. Look, he people keep saying he looks lethargic. That Palmeiras final. How I don't know if you saw it, Alexis, but how often was Kai just moving back and forth like a headless chicken, just finding spaces, looking here and getting open? There's nothing lethargic about that. Lukaku's
Best
not
player on
doing
the
that.
pitch. Best player on the
I thought
pitch.
he was the best that game until Kova and actually Kova was really good that game. Was he? I don't remember anymore, man. It was
I
I'm
don't
still
remember
riding
that
that
game,
high.
bro. Yeah, I can't
I'm
lie to
still
you.
like I'm so focused on Crystal Palace that like I forget the last game already because I was so annoyed
But
by that.
man,
But
it's like you said. It really put a dampener. It made
yeah,
the trophy stinky. Like that
a
crest
little,
on our
right?
badge. It didn't deserve. We didn't. The players didn't play for the badge. Like we didn't deserve that crest saying Club World Cup winners.
Yeah, it really did make me feel that way. I'm not gonna lie, but with Havertz, even yesterday though, he looked more physical too. He's been more physical. Like I compared to Havertz last season versus Havertz this season, there is an improvement there. You see development. Yes,
Yeah,
the beginning of the season he was terrible. I'm not gonna lie here. I'm not gonna sit here and deny it.
trash,
He was
trash.
trash. No dribbles won, Alexis. No dribbles won in almost all the games he was playing. That's
Agreed.
garbage for his standards. But now recently he's playing well and he stepped up and he's starting to win some dribbles. He's trying to get more physical. He's trying to get into good spaces, making good runs, intelligent
He's
runs.
he's 22. He doesn't even have his man body yet.
Yeah.
Like he's going to grow. He's going to build man strength. Like there's an 18-year-old that hits the gym and does the bench press, and then there's a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
24-year-old that hits the gym and
Yeah.
does the bench press.
Then there's
Completely
me.
different. There's different vim. Like it's completely different. And I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think with Kai, the we just have to be patient. This is going to be the face of the team. Like, I'm so certain of it. Like, I'm willing to put my name out there.
You know what, Alexis? I'm starting to think, and I think you actually said this in the video. I'm starting to think that he's starting to cement his future as a Chelsea legend.
Yeah, he is.
Goal in this World Cup, Club World Cup, and a goal to win us the Champions League. That's already like Didier Drogba, like legendary moment status. You know what I mean?
And then an assist for Ziyech's goal in the Super Cup. And you know what? He isn't putting numbers on, but he's putting moments. When he retires, like I've already said, we will talk about him for years.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a trivia question. Who scored the winning goal against Manchester City in the Champions League final? Who got the winning penalty for Chelsea against Palmeiras? Like, this is history, and we're envisaging it now. And people don't want to accept it because he doesn't get you back flick goals, and he doesn't get you 45 goals a season, which is unrealistic. We don't play 45 goals. Marshall, by the way,
look, I see Abs in the background getting excited about it too because we're talking about his favorite player, Havertz.
Bro,
what were you saying?
You know, what's it called? One quick thing I wanted to say. We've had 340 plus shots this year. Man City and Liverpool have had over 500, I think, or close to 500 shots this year. I saw the stat today. I think that's the difference. I genuinely think that's the difference.
So wait, okay, let's. I want to actually get your opinion on this. Do you think our problem here in Chelsea is that we don't make enough chances, or do you think that we don't finish the chances that we make?
We don't make enough chances.
Okay, well,
I think this is my argument. Tell me any striker in the world football that has a 1-2 record. So one goal every 2 shots. There isn't many. Most strikers, I looked at the statistic, Salah's, Kane's, Benzema's, they're around about between the 20, and I'm being generous, 20 and 30% range. Mm-hmm. Reason being, they take 4 shots per goal. We don't get enough chances because our build-up play isn't correct. Our build-up play isn't correct because the vocal point's not there. Last season, it was there because the vocal point was there, and people were getting frustrated about us missing chances. Go and watch Man City play. Go and watch Liverpool play. This is how I know a lot of these people don't watch football. Because when you watch Man City and Liverpool play, you'll pull your hair out at how many chances Salah misses.
Yeah.
Mane's a missing machine. He misses for fun.
It's so true.
Like, these players are meant to miss chances. They're not FIFA games. Like, we don't make enough chances because we don't have the personnel. Like, the vocal point, the integral piece, the Firmino, the Phil Foden for Man City is not there. Who we play off and move around and renegotiate their whole defense and then have the runners booming in behind. Remember what Pep said? Why are Man City so good? They go all the wide. Blah, blah, blah. Like,
so wide.
And more than you believe. Like, there's a reason. Like, there's absolutely a reason, man. I think we need to. I need us to go with Havertz for like 5 games in a row. And
I would love that. There's no arguing that at all, in my opinion. But with me, like, I feel like depending on the game, I feel like we make plenty of chances, but we just don't have anyone that's clinical. And the one guy that we do have that's clinical doesn't fit our fucking system. So it's like
Rom's not clinical, bro. Rom is not clinical, and I've said this.
He's probably our most clinical player, though. If you had to put clinic,
it's like
out of all of us,
it's like calling trash rubbish, bro. Like, what are we playing?
I get it. All right, Abs. I'm gonna let you in, bro. What are you trying to say, dog? Welcome back. It's been a while, Abs. You trying to praise Havertz? You're muted. There you go.
Hold on. So obviously, Roman, you
got a green screen here. You're holding the World Club Cup trophy there, bro.
Yeah, that's my cap. My German manager on that. All right. So listen, 100%. Obviously, first and foremost, you see with
I'll be right back, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've always backed King Kai because I know what this guy's got. I watched him a bit at Leverkusen. I won't cap and say that I'm a big Bundesliga guy because I don't watch Bundesliga like that. But I've always been a
I
big
don't
Kai
blame
Havertz
you.
guy.
I don't blame
No, but that's what it is. So I watched a bit of Havertz, and like the thing is, out of all our forwards, he's probably the most intelligent in terms of his movement and in terms of picking up space. And yeah, so I was always going to back him. But there's a couple problems with our forward line. So Lukaku, right? You see with people who are old enough to watch him. If you remember Pippo Inzaghi, Lukaku
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Pippo Inzaghi without the finishing. That's just what it is. The awful movement, always offside. But he's not part of the problem. The problem is that the way we play football is messed up in terms of the way we build up and stuff. It's part of the issue. And I don't want to say it's his fault entirely because it's not. But you see with Jorginho, right? Jorginho's a great player, but you have to fit certain players around him to help with your build up and stuff. That's why it's harder for us to create more chances, but not because he's crap on the ball or anything, but just because the way you have to play through him, you have to play with someone who protects him, and that only means you get one person in midfield. So that's why I said right from the start. And no, this is not a Basmati Rice thing. I think Declan Rice is extremely overrated, and I would keep him as far away from my club as possible. Get me Aurelian Tchouameni at Chelsea Football Club, and we can cook because then you can have two different. Because people think that when you get someone in, you have to replace them. Nah, man, no need. We made that mistake with Bakayoko and Matic when we sold Matic and brought in Bakayoko. Look how that ended up. If we bring in Tchouameni, who can learn off Jorginho, who can play in a pivot by himself, then we have more midfielders, more attackers, and we can play better football. But I'm sorry,
I think
certain
we got too
people.
many choices, Abs. Though this is
I
another
think we have a
problem.
lot of choices too.
I think sometimes when you go to a buffet, right, and there's a bunch of food, and you're like, oh shit, let me load up this plate. Next thing you know, you're mixing the beef, the lamb, and then the chicken all in one plate, and you're not enjoying any of the flavors of any of the food. And I think this is exactly what we've got right now. We got 7 players for
What an
3 positions.
analogy.
Like, you're not cooking with oil anymore. Like,
Uh-huh.
you got 7 players for 3 positions. They're coming in rusty. They're coming in like Christian Pulisic isn't. Yesterday, people like, oh, Pulisic's been shit. Yeah, he was shit. He's hardly played football in the last month. Like,
True.
what do you expect from a player that hasn't kicked the ball in a competitive game? Like, I think we've got too many options. And I think I understand what you're saying with the midfield. I think we need one more quality midfielder, and then you can rotate around the 4. I think Tchouameni would add great cover for Jorginho, and then all of a sudden, Tchouameni will become the starter, and then Jorginho can go, and then you buy another one. Then you got Tchouameni, another one, Kante and Kova, and it's like, okay, Gallagher as well. That's 5 good midfielders.
I hear that. But this is the other thing, right? And this is where I will get onto. This is something I can't agree with. See that Callum Hudson-Odoi guy? I'm sorry, bro. You've had your time. It's time to go, man.
22 years.
Bro. Listen. I had hope for him because he was one of the few players, apart from Hazard, who got Alvaro Morata to score a goal, and that kind of stuff isn't easy. So I had a bit of faith. I didn't have a bit of faith, but I'm sorry. This guy just ain't in front of goal. He has not improved at all. And I know what people are going to say. He's played wing back and stuff, but when he's played in the front line, he's missed so. Listen. I want to win league titles. I don't want to develop youngsters. And you have to show me something to suggest that you're going to do some good in the long run. And the thing is that if Hudson-Odoi was going on, taking on his man, at least trying to make things happen and just play with no fear, no shackles on, just being like, let me just go for it. Let me take on my guy, at least try and make something happen. Then be like, calm, no problem. It's why I wasn't so pissed at Ziyech, because with Ziyech, it wasn't coming off. But you could see he was at least trying to make things happen. Even if it wasn't working, he looked awful. With Hudson, it just don't seem like he's trying. He's not even taking on his man and at least trying to put in a ball. But then when he does, it ends up leading to something. So he's got the ability, but he don't have the. I don't know what the word is. I don't know if mentally he's all there as a footballer. And not in terms of he's stupid or anything. It's just like his mentality.
A lot of it's confidence.
It's confident. Abs, do you watch Real Madrid? Genuine question. Do you
yeah, quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Okay. So you remember Vinny last year?
He's wank.
Terrible. And what's changed this year? Confidence. He's actually taking players on, and Callum's got the exact same match. You know what Callum's problem is now? Callum's scared to turn over the ball because Tuchel will drop him for 3 weeks. So Callum plays the safe alternative. Callum shouldn't be starting for Chelsea. Callum should be the first person off that bench. We should have a Salah, Mane, and then he should be coming on. He should be the Luis Diaz player. He should be what Jota was with Firmino, and then he takes over. And the problem is we don't have good starters, so we're putting unrealistic expectations on a 21, 22-year-old kid. When really the question is why is Werner not performing? Why is Ziyech only started performing now? And why is Lukaku not scoring goals? And that's my issue. That's why I don't have an issue with Callum. Callum's not a problem. If anything, let Callum develop. He might be good next year. Now I need fixes. I need solutions for this summer to start the season next year.
I think with me, the issue with Callum and with Pulisic is that we know what they're capable of. We've seen the best of them at many times throughout the season and the previous season. It's just, where's the consistency? Is it because, and you know what? I'm going to give Callum the benefit of the doubt. He's had to work with Marcos Alonso for a good majority of this season, and that doesn't help you at all. You can tell there was a noticeable drop off in Callum's game once he had to start working. The next game, when Choa got hurt, the very next game, Callum dropped a stinker because Marcos Alonso was there. So, I'm going to bring on the man who loves Marcos Alonso. Marcos Alonso's biggest fan. Good friend of the channel. What's going on, Andrew? Tell me about Callum. Tell me about Marcos Alonso. What are you saying, bro?
Marcos Alonso is my GOAT. And if he wins the League Cup, he's a legend. No. Let that sink in, by the way. If we do win the League Cup, he, along with Kante, would have won everything they can possibly win at the club.
That is mind-boggling.
It's mad, isn't it? He's going to be, you know what? He's going to be the answer to a pub quiz question in 10 years' time. Apart from Azpilicueta and Kante, who's the only third player to have won all the trophies? And no one's going to remember. And then they're going to go Marcos Alonso and go, oh my God.
At least it's not
Barkley. Him, mate. Hold on.
No, but at least it's not Barkley.
Can we deep something for a second, though? Can we deep something and then say what you got to say, Andrew? But can we deep for a second that Alonso came on and gave us the assist for the goal that we needed to win?
Hey, Marshall, I put him in the good. So I don't know if any of you watch my channel. On my channel, I have
check out his review, please, guys.
So I always put like the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. I put Alonso in the good. I was like, at least.
Oh my God.
Hey, we're in the mud. I gotta give people some sort of positivity. Like
it's the sort of assist that he didn't mean for it to go to Ziyech. No, that was the thing. It was sort of like
Hey, Andrew, that is hating. But, that is hating at the finest. Even when a guy does well, you try to take a spike.
I'm a football fan. I'm allowed to be hypocritical. I love
that.
No, but I think about Callum. The thing that bothers me about Callum, which I don't think anyone, even Tuchel's not really explained. I think it was about November, December time, and he was in a run of like eight starts in a row, and he was starting to pick up a bit of form, show a bit of consistency, and then he was dropped for no reason whatsoever. I can't think of what the reason was. It was no injury or anything. Or sorry, rotated, the word is.
Tuchel tax.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking. I think he's a player that needs to consistently start, and you're going to have to take that in. It's going to take him maybe 3 or 4 games in that run to see the best of him. You can't expect. Unfortunately, that's what he's like in how he's playing. But I think what comes with Cho is, unfortunately, like all footballers, it's the amount he gets paid as well that people sometimes stick to. Because if you remember, and it's not his fault, it's the club's fault for offering him that in the first place. The amount of money he's on, people expect him to do the things that he can't at the moment. I mean, that Palmeiras game was really frustrating me because everyone goes that he's best on the left, and it's like, I know he crossed in with his left foot, but he hardly uses his left foot, and it's like, it's just frustrating to me that we still think, put him on the left is his best position, because he's always going to cut back on his right. and everyone knows it
Yeah.
as well. And it's,
But
but
you know what,
I-
Andrew? If you look at him, right, he's got. So I've got it up. He's got 3 goals and 5 assists in 26 games. Considering they're not all starts. So if you look at that, that's one contribution every 3 games.
yeah,
A lot of those games were at wing back. I want to see if he needs to go and play football. We're never
he
going to
should've
know
gone
how
and-
good he is unless he
Yeah.
goes and plays. But then you know what's shit? You hear him coming out and saying, "Oh, it was the right decision not to go on loan. Look at all these trophies I've
Rubbish.
won."
Absolute rubbish.
And it's like, look at all these,
Jesus
and then you're like, okay, cool. How can I fault you? You won 2 great trophies. You went on a free holiday to Saudi Arabia. You got the assist. You got the assist of what's it called in the Club World Cup final.
Yeah.
Okay, I get
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
But you need to play. Like you need to play.
He does need to play.
That's what I was saying about Cho.
I
That's
would,
why
I
I
would
was saying my
seriously
question
this
is
summer. I
mentality.
would. But yeah,
Consider.
This summer I'd really like. If I was Tuchel, I'd really have an honest conversation with him. And do you know what? Depending on what, because obviously we've got to wait who's coming in and who's coming out. I mean, I would have sent him on loan in the summer.
Andrew, I think he likes him. I think this
know.
is
There's
it.
no doubt. There's no doubt he likes him because he keeps picking him and playing him in whatever position he does, and I have no doubt about it. But I'm thinking about the player. And I'm
Like,
thinking
don't
about
be
getting a
surprised
consistent season. of
Tuesday he
football.
starts. If he's fit,
yeah,
he's
no doubt.
starting.
But don't you think, Alexis, it would do him good to play a consistent season of starting football matches, not every now and again chopping in and out, and that's fine. But when you come back to Chelsea, expect that, but actually get that education of and that experience of starting games every week, wherever it is. Just get it in your body, because he's like, we're talking about 1, 2. Let's say it's 4th season really with the first team squad. Not like member of the team, but just the first team. And it's like, I think that's what's done Mount good, and I think that's what's done Reece James good, is have that loan away. The loans away. I think that's helped build them mentally.
Mhm.
Can I ask you all a question, right? Brozier and Conor Gallagher.
Yeah.
Brozier was fucking shit this weekend. Terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, he was terrible this weekend. How many of you heard of that? None of you.
No.
Unless you watch Match of the Day or you actually went and watched him play live.
Yeah.
Conor Gallagher's gone off the boil. And no one hears about this because no one reports it because no one cares enough. But when they score, we get gassed like, yeah, they're ready to come back. And the same will happen with Callum, but they're allowed to make their mistakes. We're not, because I've said it perfectly. We need to win titles now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing.
Well, no
Callum's
one cares
not
that
going to
Billy
have
Gilmore's
the
rotting
education.
away. No one cares that Billy Gilmore's rotting away at Norwich.
And he definitely is rotting away for sure. Oh my God.
This is my thing though when it comes to the youngsters, right? I'm so like, I'm willing to be patient with them, but I need to see something from you. At least like, you need to show me that, okay, I'm not a big fan of these, but you need to have like a little purple patch where you're cooking. Like you're properly cooking and say, okay, we can work from this. Callum Hudson-Odoi has never had a 5 to 10 game run where he's been consistently man of the match for Chelsea, in my opinion.
Has Callum Hudson-Odoi had 5 to 10 games in a row at Chelsea?
Well, he had that thing early this season, didn't he? Like
and how good was he in that game? How good
He was solid.
He
was solid.
Literally, and people talk about the game against Villa. Yeah, he was decent against them. He got the assist and stuff, but he missed about 2 fires and sitters, man. I mean, you got to take one of them chances.
No, but we were talking about me and Marshall were talking. I don't know if you were listening. Shooters miss. And that like Salah gets 4 or 5 chances a game. The reason you remember this is because we don't get more than 1 or 2 chances a game. So you remember these. Like yesterday's game, I told Marshall, I was like, Marshall, we had 3 chances in the game, and it's worrying that I remember all 3. Pulisic, Kante, Ziyech goal. It's worrying. In 97 minutes of football, I remember the 3 chances that we had.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not Callum's fault. Like, that's a team issue. We should be getting more chances.
The way I see it,
1 and 5.
The way I see it right now, this starting lineup, for me, that front 3 of we don't have a choice. Romelu is going to be playing no matter what. But
oh goodness me,
Ziyech on the right, Havertz on the left, they've been looking solid. They look like they're cooking something, you know? With me too, like I'm also gonna give the benefit of the doubt to Callum. He has to work with Alonso. You look at least with Aspie, you get that overlapping run on Ziyech's side. He has that. Even Ziyech looked terrible when Alonso was on his side on the left, when Ziyech had to play on the left.
I need this guy.
You know,
this is the man I need at Chelsea.
You're not gonna get him.
Maybe.
Nah,
I don't think so. I don't agree,
good.
but maybe.
Nah,
but
is like,
this is what I mean, Alexis. We talked about this earlier. Back Tuchel, get him wingbacks, because if you get him wingbacks, then maybe we can get something cooking with this attack that we have.
Marshall, we're not gonna get wingbacks. Do you know why we're not gonna get wingbacks? Because I think the wingback system's ending. Because you saw what Tuchel said in his press conference the other day. He said Ziyech didn't play because he suits it better when he plays right wing.
Yeah.
I think he's going to consistently play him. And I want to see this. And I don't know if you guys are going to like this. Kai 9, Mount in behind, playing in the midfield 3, basically. Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi. Give that a run. All 4 players can interchange. All 4 players. And then, if needed, bring Werner on for Callum to do the inverted runs. And you have the press. You have the cohesiveness. They're not perfect. None of them are Leroy Sané. I like Leroy Sané as well. I like Gnabry as well. None of them are those players yet. But we won't know how good Callum is until Callum gets a consistent run of games. We need 20 points and then top 4 secured. Get those 20 points and then experiment.
Nah, not for me. I think we need to, for me, I want to just see us strive to like bigger heights and stuff. I want to get that 80-point mark, because for me, the whole points thing, I do take points into consideration, because I don't want to see a gap of more than 10 points between us and Manchester City or Liverpool or whoever wins the league. Because if that happens, then for me, we've not progressed at all. And even
what was the points gap last year?
The points gap was like 20. No, because we got.
I don't remember this. I don't remember bad times.
I'm getting it now.
67.
We got 66. They got 86. Man City.
I'm getting it now. Hold on. Yeah, so it was 29 points. No, 19 points.
Okay.
10 points would be a reduction, then, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying. If we close, because if you look at previous seasons, right? Remember that 13-14 season where obviously this Mr. Slip and Slide merchant decided to throw it away for them. We finished only 4 points behind Man City, right? And then the next season, we slapped everyone and took that league title. Costa, Fabregas, Hazard were on smoke. That's what I need from us. I need us to.
What if I tell you something, yeah? And you're going to say, Alex, don't be that guy. Remember the Everton game and the Burnley game where there was no ROM, but we created maybe 10 chances, 13 chances. Remember those games earlier on?
Yeah.
We win those 2 games, add 4 points onto our total, right? We're on 59. No, we're on 54. We are 9 points behind Man City. That 6 of those 9 are us losing to them. We're a lot closer than people are making it seem. I think we would be maybe 5-6 points behind them in the title race like Liverpool are at the moment if Reece didn't go down or Ben didn't go down. I think that was been the biggest issue.
It's not that
Man United game as well.
Do you know why it's not that simple? This is where I disagree. This is where I disagree, because I always think injuries are not the reason we're the mess that they're the leading factor, but they're not the reason why we're in it. It goes back to the point of the board not planning properly, because if they planned properly in the summer and got the appropriate backup and not leave that Escobar region at left wing back for Chilwell and get someone in who can actually do a job, and that donkey, that useless fake Nigerian Ross Barkley as a bench option, if they got some proper backup for these players, then we'd still be in a title race. This is what I'm saying. And this is where I would go back to the board. They need to start getting appropriate backup and not just any big name from any other team. I don't care. If they gave me Ronaldinho tomorrow and said you can have him for 80 million, even though he's the GOAT, I'd still say no, because he probably wouldn't fit our team. We need the right profile of players to play in this team. It's about the profile. In the summer, it doesn't matter where they're from. If they play Thomas Tuchel's football, get them in, please. That's just
But
why I
then
want.
my question is, what formation are we playing? You see, this is it. I don't want to buy wing backs. I want to buy full backs. So that means we play four
Yeah.
at the back and we have an additional attacking outlet.
We'll see.
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to come to Tuchel. I'm hoping that Roman is all these rumors about Roman looking for a new sporting director. I hope it's true. I hope if we do bring a sporting director, it's the right guy that'll take us in the right direction. No more of these signings that become deadwood, please. And if we get youth, let's get proper youth. Let's start doing better scouting. We should have been getting Luis
What is
Diaz.
proper
We should be
youth?
getting all these.
What is proper
I'm
youth?
just
Because I would say we have proper youth at this club. Mount is proper
Okay.
youth. Mount is a star, Champions League winner. He's a good player. Reece James is proper youth. He's arguably top 5 right backs in the world right now. We got Callum Hudson-Odoi,
Yes.
who at any other club right now would be spoken about the same way Elise is being spoken about, the same way Damari Gray is being spoken about, the same way Vinny's spoken about. He's not getting consistent. We've got youth. That's not the issue for me.
I'm saying in the
is
sense of like, let's
starters.
continue this. Let's continue this and let's lessen the amount of Ampadu's that we get in this team. Let's lessen the amount of, Kennedys and all these guys are just, they're not pulling through. Like
That won't happen anymore though. 'Cause of the
Musiala and all
loan
these things. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But my point being is that let's get our scouts to actually do their jobs. Let's start to work and get proper scouts, build a proper team. Let's get a sporting director that can hopefully manage this ship. And it looks like Roman's doing it. And you know what happened the first time Roman came to the club? He bought a sporting director, stole it off Man United pretty much. And we started building this amazing team and this amazing legacy. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We're going to be talking about this more in the future. There's plenty to talk about. We have Chelsea playing Lille on Tuesday, Champions League. Let's see what kind of lineup comes out. I'm actually kind of excited. Maybe Romelu doesn't play. Maybe we see Timo. Who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, before we head off, make sure you like the video if you haven't already. It all helps us out. Really do appreciate it. Check out Alexis's channel if you haven't already, the Kavkas View. Link is in the description. Hit the @ on his name. It'll take you to the page as well. By all means, show him some love. He posts 5 days a week, which is more than enough to make anyone happy here when it comes to Chelsea content. Go ahead and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the stream today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. As Kai would say, don't do drugs. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.
I love people.